Are you a business owner or employee who needs to network but is terrified of walking into a room full of people you don't know? Are you afraid of being left out of conversations or being awkward in the conversations you do have? Your tour guide, Faithann, is here to walk alongside you through the networking terrain, offering tips and tricks to network with ease. She'll also bring insightful interviews with successful business owners who have used networking to expand their businesses. Building relationships is the heart of networking, and generosity is the cruise ship that will navigate you toward those important relationships for your business or career. Grab your sunscreen and suitcase. Faithann is ready. Are you?
Hello there, and welcome to the Networkers Tour Guide podcast. I'm glad you found the show. I'm your host, Faithann. Networking is providing opportunities for others that they would not have except for you, so that you have standing to ask for opportunities from those same people when you need them. How do we create opportunities for others? And how do we ask for those same opportunities? Well, that's what this podcast is all about. It's what I'm here for. Let's dive into episode 13. Episode 13 comes from Mini Tour 12, 4 Networking Habits We Overlook But Shouldn't. The mini tours can be found at the Networkers Tour Guide blog, which is at thenetworkerstourguide.net. 4 networking habits we overlook but shouldn't. Recently, I've noticed some people online who've been real frustrated with their networking efforts, and they feel like giving up, and that's what prompted me to write this. There are things that we can do when we network that will help us not feel despair, that will lead to results, and give us some success when we network. These things aren't very big, but combined through consistency, they can make a real difference. So the first habit that we should not overlook, we should be asking for others to make introductions on our behalf on a regular basis. Now, there are 2 parts to this. First, who do we ask? And second, how do we ask? For the first part, who we ask are those people that we have built rapport with, that we have poured into, and now we have standing to ask for them to help us. So networking is always about giving first. It's always about contributing to other people's businesses first. Then that gives you the standing to ask for them to help you. In your one-to-ones, you should be asking if you've built rapport with somebody and you've maybe sent them a referral, or you've invited them to another group and they've had success in that group. You should be saying, would you be willing to make an introduction on my behalf? If you give the person the language, the exact language to use, then they're probably going to be able to help you. You can ask for an introduction to a person in a profession, or what's even better is you can ask for an introduction to a specific person that they know. But these are people that you have built rapport with, that you have helped in some way. That's who you ask. How you ask is, would you be willing to introduce me to person X? I think that person X would be a really good contact for me, and I would love to see if there might be a chance for us to work together in the future. I'm wondering if you might be the person that could help me get in front of person X. And then you ask, would it be helpful if I gave you the language to use to make the introduction? Because I'm more than happy to do that. An important detail that even I miss sometimes is if the person is going to make an introduction on your behalf, you can tell the person it's okay to ask the person first. Let's use me as an example. So I'm Faithann, and I'm going to ask Mary to introduce me to her contact, and her contact name is Betty. When I ask Mary to introduce me to Betty, I'm going to tell Mary, before you make a 3-way email, or before you make the official introduction, ask Betty if it's okay first. So that will help the introduction go smoothly. So don't just send a group email without talking to the person first. So Mary's going to have more luck with Betty being agreeable to start communicating with me if Mary first, without me in the email, asks Betty, Hey, Betty, I have a friend who does XYZ, and she was asking if there'd be any possibility that you would be open to meeting with her or talking to her. And then what Mary can do is really talk me up. I talked to her. She really does a great job for her clients when she does X. And I wouldn't ask unless I knew that Faithann would be a good person to at least get to know a little better. So ask for introductions on your behalf. If you will do this, you'll be happy with the result. And it may not be that every single time you ask for an introduction it happens, but if you never ask for any, then you're never going to get any. If you start making that a habit of asking, then some of those people are going to be more than willing to make those introductions on your behalf. And then some of those introductions might actually turn into fruitful relationships. That's number one, asking for others to make introductions on your behalf. That is a habit that we should not overlook. The second habit that we should not be overlooking is we should not be afraid to step out of our comfort zone to find referrals for others. Don't be afraid to ask your people if they would be willing to talk to those business owners that you trust. Recently, my husband and I helped our daughter purchase a car. Well, I was talking to the owner of the car while my husband and my daughter did a test drive. And I started talking to him, and I started listening to him talk about his business. And then I started thinking, ooh, he's talking about a business. He's complaining. Ooh, who could I recommend that might help him? And so I brought it up. I mean, barely knew him, but I wasn't afraid. I have person X that I've used that could be really helpful for you. What do you think about talking to that person? So step outside of your comfort zone. Remember, and I've said this in previous episodes, your kindness goes before you. So the people in your life that you know well and you have good relationships with, it's the kindness that you've already displayed to them through the years or months that you've known them that always go before you. So it's okay to step out a little bit and ask these people that you know well if they would be willing to talk to the people that your business people that you trust. Don't be afraid. And remember, you're helping. So if you think that the business owner can help your friend, your neighbor, your mom, then you aren't doing anything but helping if you're going to put the invitation in front of them, or two business owners that don't know each other and connecting them. Don't be afraid to ask if it's okay that you connect somebody you know with somebody they don't know in order to help them in some way. You're going to get a lot of no's, but just keep asking.
Hi, listeners. Are you someone who struggles to ask engaging questions at your business lunches? Faithann has put together her list of 10 questions she uses when she is with a business owner over lunch or coffee. These questions build rapport and, more importantly, make that person you're talking to feel seen and heard. Go grab this free resource today by clicking on the questions link in the show notes.
All right, number 3, habits that we should be doing that we don't often do, which can lead to some despair, some frustration in our networking, is we don't confirm our appointments. So confirm your appointments 24 hours before they happen. This leads to less wasted time. It leads to the opportunity for that person, if they can't make it, to let you know sooner rather than later. It's just an efficient thing to do. It's understanding that sometimes people forget. Sometimes life gets crazy, and let's mitigate against that by always confirming our appointments. It doesn't take any time at all to shoot off an email that says, "Hey, Mary, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at Restaurant X at 9 o'clock. Is this still good for you?" And the last one is networking with intention. So just attending a bunch of business lunches and doing nothing else with no plan is a sure way to ensure that you get very frustrated and very despairing at the end of 6 months of this, of just attending lunches, attending breakfasts, attending mixers with no plan. So we want to be looking to see who in the room should we know better, and then we want to start building relationships. We want to be generous, but intentional. Think about your profession, who you serve, who else also serves those same clients, And when you network, look to build relationships with these specific people, which I've talked a little bit about in episode 3, a referral partner. You want to identify who else is going after the same kind of people that you are, but that don't compete with you. So a florist and a wedding photographer, a plumber and electrician, a real estate agent and a lender. Also, those people, I call them referral partners. I'm sure I'm not the first person that has used that term. But these are people who are going to know of a need before you do. So a lender is going to know that Mary and Bob are looking for a house before the realtor does. And if you have a good relationship with a lender, the lender can say, hey, I've got some clients. They're looking to buy a house. I'm going to service the loan, and they need a realtor. So attending a networking meeting, looking for those people, who are the people that are going to know about a need before you do, and who are the people that are going to serve the same clients that you are serving without competing, looking to build relationships with them, have one-to-ones with them, find referrals for them. This is the activity that's going to make sure that you're not wasting your time. Why are these things good to do? It's because they will start to see you as valuable, and then they will start to learn what you do, and their brains are going to start to see opportunities that they didn't see before because they're familiar with you now, and they will start to introduce their friends to you, their people to you. So these are the 4 habits that we need to be doing to make sure that we're not wasting our time when we network. Let me go over them real quick one more time. Asking others to make introductions on your behalf, stepping out of your comfort zone to find referrals for others, confirming the appointments that you make with those in your network, and networking with a plan. Doing all of these things can really set you on the right path to receiving referrals and helping the people in your network and your family and friends by having good people to refer when they need them. Are any of these habits some habits that you do on a regular basis, or is this a reminder to do any of the things that I mentioned? You can email me at faithann@thenetworkerstourguide.com. That's faithann@thenetworkerstourguide.com. Go network, my friend, and remember, good networking habits equal networking success.
You've been listening to the Networkers Tour Guide podcast with Faithann Basor. Share this episode with a friend, and be sure to come back next week for more networking tips and tricks from the Networkers Tour Guide.